All right, everyone. Welcome to That Damn Podcast. This is Miles Phillips.
Dustin Sutliff.
And today is a very special podcast because we have a special guest today. One of our first guests we've ever had here on the show. Her name is Becca Grady. Say hi, Becca.
Hi. Yay.
What's up, Becca?
Hi, I'm so excited. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be your first guest, and it's the first time I've ever done a podcast, so I'm excited.
Oh, hell yes. Do you listen to podcasts a lot, Becca?
I do. I listen to podcasts about TV shows mostly.
TV shows?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty cool. What's the name of the podcast that you listen to a lot?
I listen to Gilmore Guys because I'm a huge Gilmore Girls fan, and anyone who knows me in the first 5 minutes they meet me know that. So
You just go and tell them that I'm a Gilmore Girls fan, just FYI.
Pretty much. It's fun. And those podcasts are very, very long, but I enjoy them.
I like long podcasts. I listen to a lot of really long podcasts. Ours is only 45 minutes because I feel like a lot of people don't like listening to long podcasts, but I like long ones where people are just talking. My favorite ones are about movies too.
Yeah.
I love movie podcasts.
45 minutes is a good amount of time.
It's a good standard, yeah. It's a good standard amount of time.
I listen to MMA podcasts a lot. Joe Rogan, I listen to his podcast. He's awesome. And then I listen to the Spider and the Kid one a lot. And then my sports ones and such. So I can listen to debates about who's the best football player of all time.
As you can tell, Dustin and I are complete opposites from each other.
Complete. We really are. It's pretty weird.
He loves sports. I could care less.
He doesn't give a shit. It doesn't really make sense why we're so close to friends sometimes.
Yeah, we're different people. Did I tell you that there's a guy that I went to school with? I think we were in elementary school together, but I think we were in school for a little bit. But he got, this is another guy. I was telling you about two people I knew from just growing up in school have been drafted. One by the Patriots and one by the Green Bay Packers.
Green Bay!
What?
That's my fucking team.
God. You told me about the one who got drafted in the Patriots. And, but not the Packers.
I mean, I was friends with one of them in elementary school, but the other one, we weren't close friends at all. I knew of him, and I guess he knew of me, maybe. I don't know. I was kind of a nerd. I wasn't unpopular, but I wasn't popular either. I was kind of in the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, I think so.
You're in the middle of the den. You know what that means? Is that you were literally at the very bottom. That's what that means.
Oh, well, I didn't feel like I was at the bottom. Where were you in the high school totem pole?
I did not want to be in a clique ever at all, even though I went to a really small school. My graduating class, I think, was the biggest ever. It was 210 kids or something like that. And I just kind of wanted to float around. I had my core group of friends who mostly did theater, and then just friends here and there. Otherwise, I just tried to make an effort to see as regularly as I could because I didn't want to be stuck in one group. So
that's probably smart.
I try
diversifying yourself. I think that's.
Yeah.
I think I was a little bit like that. I think I'm way more like that in college. In high school, I don't know where I was. I'm probably in the middle group. I was pretty cool with certain people, but I didn't like those preppy ass. I don't even know. They're just whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? High school's weird.
I had fun in high school for the most part, I think. Freshman year for me was actually really fun.
I liked freshman year too.
And then it kind of went downhill a little bit. Sophomore and junior year, those kind of sucked a little bit. But senior year was great because that was the year everyone was just like, "This is our last year.
No one cared.
We'll probably never see each other ever again." So everyone just kind of got along because no one gave a shit.
Yep, I was my senior class secretary, so I had to. Well, we had to start planning our reunion, so I kind of have to see all these people again.
You're in charge of that whole thing?
I'm not in charge. Technically, our president's in charge, but this past year we had our 5-year reunion, and I helped plan it, and then I was like, sorry guys, I'm not going to be in town because I'm relocating for a job. And so I helped plan it as much as I could, and I helped them out as I could remotely. But I was going into tech for a show, so I didn't.
As you do.
Right, and so I'll make my appearance at the 10-year, I hope. 'Cause
I feel like 5 years is
it doesn't
weird.
make a lot of sense. Yeah, it's kind of just like we're all now legally able to drink in a bar together, so let's go do that.
Yeah, I don't think...
Yeah. I don't know if my school has has reunions at all.
They
I've
just
never
don't
heard of
invite
anyone
you.
having
That's all that
reunions.
is.
I'd like to go to a reunion. I think.
Did
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Did you have like a historian or something in your student council, or
I have no clue.
did you have a student council?
We did
Kidding
have
me.
a student council. I think we did. I'm pretty sure. Because they're the ones who organized
there.
prom.
Yeah, the people who organize prom are probably going to organize your reunions
Oh. Well,
because we organize prom.
I don't know what those people are doing now.
Not a damn clue.
That's what Facebook's
I had-
for.
There's like a group on like Facebook, and it's Gish Class 2011, and someone randomly posted, don't even know who it is, but she's apparently in my class, and just said, so are we having a reunion? And I just started laughing because like there's like two people that liked the post,
That's
and I'm like, I
hilarious.
feel like none of these people give a shit, and then like there's a bunch of other people like commenting on it, and I don't know who any of them are. And I'm just like, I don't know why I would go to this. It's sad, but I don't keep in touch with any of the high school friends, really. That I had maybe a couple that I will, like, kind of still talk to. Are you guys the same way?
Yeah, I haven't talked to any of my... I mean, there was a time where we all tried to keep in touch. Whenever we come home for breaks, we would try to, like, meet up at some point. But eventually that died out, and
Yeah.
I haven't talked. The occasional, we had this Facebook group, a bunch of my friends did. We were all in band, and we have a Facebook group called Booby Time.
What
It was
the
a very-
fuck?
We had a
Why?
Facebook group because my friend had this watch, and the hands were circles, and so when they would come together, they looked like boobs. And so we'd be like, what time
Oh
is
my
it?
God.
And he'd look at his watch and he'd say booby time.
Ew.
And then we
Oh,
created
no.
a group on Facebook called Booby Time. And sometimes one of us will post on that. But other than that, I haven't really talked to any of them.
Oh,
Do you talk to your college, Becca? Do you keep close with your college friends?
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
try to call my college friends pretty regularly because I know if I don't that I really will fall out of touch with them, and I literally
Yeah.
have to, with the work schedule, I literally have to schedule a time to talk to them, which has been working out great because I have friends in med school, I have friends in grad school programs, I have other friends who
Mhm.
are doing theater or teaching, and the scheduling just is crazy. So when we find a half an hour to just talk on the phone, that's what we have to do now because that's just how crazy our lives got.
I think that's always interesting with like in college. I mean, like I've been out 2 years. It'll be like it's basically like 2 years now.
Yeah.
Miles is 1 year out,
Right.
and it's you make those close connections that are even like I think they're way close. Like the people I'm friends with in college, like I'm still close with. Like they're my friend. Like they're a core group. But it's you lose touch because obviously you go out to do different things. Like my fraternity brothers, none of them are in New York City or anything like that. Even the friends that are in New York that are college friends, like I don't even get to see them because time is always just in real life.
Real life, yeah.
Did you go through like not a depression? I don't want to say depression, but like a little bit of an emotional slump after you graduate.
Yeah, well, I think the hardest was going into, like right after I graduated, I just needed to be out of there. But I think the hardest was around when school just started and when the seniors were because I'm sure this was true of both of you. The class under you, you're friends with most of them on social media, or you follow them or whatever, and they start posting all the pictures about all the senior events or the senior parties or those traditions that happen that you're not really there for. If I had a lot of my friends who were alumni liked to come to those, which was fun, but I either never had time or never had an interest in going back for some of those events that they invite alumni to or whatever it might have been, particularly in my sorority. And I think those were the times where it's like, oh, I do remember doing this a year ago, or how is it only a year ago that we did this? But it's interesting the farther away you get from it, because it's you just know less and less people who go to your college. I'm sure same has happened for you, and you moved a couple times since college. We were talking about earlier, so I'm sure just moving around a lot has had that impact on you too.
Yeah, I think it's I always talk to some people, and it's how do you make friends in the real world? Like, when you're in college, you're living next to all your close friends. You're in, especially when you're in theater, you're in shows with them. You're doing all these sort of things, and then you go out to the real world, and you're in these other cities. And luckily, I'm pretty personable, so I make friends with whatever weird shit. Like, I just talk to people. It's really weird. But I'd have some people just like, how do you find a boyfriend or a girlfriend? Like, you got to just randomly talk to them at a bar, or you have to work with them. I'm like, yeah, I don't know, it's crazy. I
was going to say, I think theater lends itself to that a lot easier than other professions do, though, because
we
just meet people all the time, whether it's at auditions or whether it's through a show, whether it's just doing like the program Miles and I are doing. It's just I think theater lends itself to that just so much more.
Yeah, to connecting to people
with a similar interest.
Yeah, because you're together for long periods of time, and you have to, or you just you have to connect with someone or talk to people and make those connections, or else you're gonna feel like alone. But then it's over, and then you all leave. You'll probably see some of those people at some point. You're bound, I'm bound to do a show with any of these people at some point.
There are people who have come down here who I've worked with in the past, or who I've been literally. We had a designer here who I was literally in the same room with a little over a year ago now, and we didn't know each other. And it's such a small world, even just in meeting some of the actors who come down here. They know people who went to my college or who went to my summer camp or who worked at the other theaters I've worked with, and it's so we're all going to run into each other. I'm going to run into you one day. I've never even met you, Doug.
Sometime you will. You'll run into my dumbass at some point. No matter what it is. I feel like as soon as you talk to somebody, you're just bound. The universe is just somehow makes it work that you see them. I really feel strongly that that's going to happen now.
Yeah.
Because you talk to someone and then it's just they're in your life. Becca, you were never in my life before. You were not in my life until this very moment right now. And now at some point I'm going to run into you, and it'll be great.
It's true, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I do remember doing that podcast with you and Miles that time.
Yeah! That's great. So, Becca, you do more stage managing, is that right?
I went to school for stage management, and then I came here to stage manage. I've done some work in development at nonprofit theaters as well.
Oh, wow.
Which is fundraising, and for me that's my happy medium, because I like doing the special event aspect of it, because my stage manager brain can work in that respect.
For sure.
And I acted for a long time. I went to a theater camp for a long time and did a lot of shows. I sang. I tried to dance. It didn't work out very well.
I feel you there.
I can't dance. I'm terrible.
Dance for shit.
But yeah, it's been an adventure. And you're an actor? You're an
I like
actor?
to try to be. Yeah, I'm an actor. Yeah, haven't been doing it for too long, but I didn't start. My first show ever was 8th grade, and I did Lion Witch of the Wardrobe,
Oh, that's so fun.
and I did Mr. Tumnus.
Which is
my
really
dumbass
weird.
is,
If you
it's
ever
really
see
weird.
Dustin,
It's
you
really
wouldn't
weird.
be able to say, "Oh yeah, that person has played Mr. Tumnus before."
Had that stupid ass flute. And I did Michael Jackson moves on stage or some shit like that. I was just being a corny whatever dude. But I've always loved being entertaining. And then I didn't start doing theater again in high school until I got asked to be someone's dance partner in what's that stupid musical that's West Side Story.
Oh.
I'm not a big fan of West Side Story. But I got asked to do that, and then didn't do theater. I was just playing football, and then junior year I did Midsummer Night's Dream. Then after that, that was what it was. I was like, all right, this is what I'm doing.
So you went to school for theater. You went to school to learn
Yeah.
become an actor.
Yeah, I got BFA in acting from Wesleyan, and then did all that, and then after graduation, my first professional audition after graduation, I got cast in and moved out to Chicago.
Wow.
So then did that. It was great. But yeah, what made you want to do stage managing?
That's a great question. I actually am not sure because we did a show in high school that I just did not want to be in. I wasn't gonna commit to it, and I didn't feel like it was fair to the director, to the other people in the cast, if I was going to be miserable doing the show. So I decided to do sound crew, but I didn't want to touch the board. I didn't want to do anything. So I sat on a headset and basically just made sure that everyone got on stage when they were supposed to. I looked out for set pieces that were missing. I was like, this is kind of fun. The next year, I then touched the board because I was able to, because I was in choir and I knew the voices on stage, so I knew how to blend better, I think, than the other person who was doing sound. And then
Nice.
And then I was like, I'm going to go to school for stage management, and I just did not know what I was getting myself into, but I really enjoyed it because I like being organized and just knowing what everyone's doing on stage at all times. And it's been a lot for my brain, but it's been a really fun experience, and I'm glad that I have that moving
For sure.
forward.
That's kind of ironic that you became a stage manager originally because you didn't want to do anything.
I didn't want to do a show.
But that's like the most time consuming job.
Seriously is.
I didn't
It's
want
so
to touch
much
the board.
shit.
I just my big thing is I don't want to break anything, so I thought I was gonna break something if I touched the soundboard. So
Soundboards scare the shit out of me. I don't fuck.
yeah, I have a lot of respect for people who do lighting design and people who do any kind of design because it's just not a part of my brain that functions properly. So
Not mine either. I'm just I worked in the shop in school, but
Miles was the worst in the shop. No, Miles
I know,
was the worst.
just tell me how to do something and I'll do it.
He will, but he'll gripe and bitch about it. He'll be like, Miles, I need you to paint something. And he's like, God damn it, I don't want to paint anything.
I hate painting.
I love
Painting was the worst.
Probably, I think painting's if you have just a blank wall and you're told to just paint it blue, that's like my dream.
It's your dream. Miles would literally cry.
I would not try.
He would get so upset whenever
This was-
painting needed to be done.
Oh.
He would get
This
so
is something
mad.
you've just made up.
That's not true. That's not true. I don't make anything up.
Well,
I make nothing up.
since we're all theater people and we've all done shows, let's talk about the best shows we've ever been a part of. Your favorite show that you've been a part of.
Oh, good God.
Okay.
This is not definitive. I mean, whatever the first thing that pops up in your head. I will say mine.
Oh, go ahead, Milo.
Actually, you know what? I have a couple, so this is going to take a little bit, I think.
God damn it. See, he has a problem, Becca. When he talks about his favorite anything, it's never his favorite. They're like 25. You're literally like the kids that I teach where I ask them a question, hey, tell me your favorite sport. And they go, well, I have 3 favorites. I'm like, that is not your fucking favorite, little kid. Like, favorite means 1. Favorite means uno numero.
Or we can you can do the first one that popped into your head and then talk
That's
about that.
fine. I just get mad how he tries to explain his favorites. It just pisses me off.
It's whatever you guys want. It's your
Well,
podcast.
okay.
Talk about all 10 of the shows you love. Do whatever.
I will say, okay, I'll do this one. This one was probably the most, the best experience I've had doing a show was when we did In the Heights in school.
Oh, I love it.
We had no business doing In the Heights at Nebraska Wesleyan University. And if you know Nebraska, it's not the most diverse place in the world. So even though you loved it, even though we loved it, you have to admit we had no business doing that.
No, we didn't. I mean, I'll just piggyback off that because that would be mine too. But we didn't have racially, we shouldn't have done that show. Like, we didn't have enough Hispanics, Dominicans, whatever. But when you go into, I think, especially in college, there's a learning curve. Like, it's a learning atmosphere. So you're able to do things that you don't get to do in the professional theater world. People play parts that they are not going to probably play they won't necessarily play when they get out to the real world. Because when you get out to the real world in the theater business, like it's all type, it's all this, like it's a crazier juggernaut that you have to handle. But I think what the show is about is the journey of Usnavi finding where his home is. And he thought he hated where he was, and then by the end of the show, his home, he belongs at that block, and that's where his home is. And I remember finally crying after we did the last bow, because Miles, he came up and he was in the middle of the finale song. Do you know the show very well, Becca?
Oh yeah, I saw it a couple of times. I saw it a couple of times in New York, and then I saw it at my college. And I just listened to the album pretty religiously. But go on.
Oh, yes. No, I very much do too. It holds a special place in my heart. Mm-hmm. But it was sure. Miles had came up, and I'm doing the finale rap, and he comes up and he just starts crying. Because we do our little thing where we either hugged or something, and he looks at me and he's crying, and I'm like, fuck, I can't cry. I'm literally the only one that sings in the rest of this number.
You were Snavi?
Yeah, he was Snavi and I was Benny.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yes, another part of our friendship. But he starts crying, and then the show ends, and I walk backstage and I just fall down to my knees, bawling.
Oh man,
so it meant so much, and that. I mean, earlier. My grandma had died, so it was that show. Just all the emotions was I've never been a part of a show with the emotions that it all captured. So that'd be mine.
Yeah, it's so powerful.
It's
just because at that point I had never. I mean, I only cried once after a show, and that was. I think it was junior year. Well, I've cried a couple times, I guess.
I cry all the time. So
but eventually that just went away, and especially in college that just went away. And that was the only show I know in college where I've actually cried at the end of, because it was just so I don't know, it was so important to me, and the story we were telling was so powerful, and it was a great cast, and we're with great people. It was it was amazing. It was an amazing show. So that was my favorite one. That's the most fun I've had in the show. That and Little Shop was the most fun.
Yeah. What about you, Becca?
My goodness. I've been mulling this over since... Good God. I think the one that I really enjoyed doing was, do you know The Mystery of Edwin Drood?
I actually don't, and I feel really dumb that I don't.
Don't, because it's a very unusual show. It's an interactive murder mystery musical because it's a story.
Oh, shit.
It's a story by Charles Dickens, and he died before he could finish the ending. So the people who made the musical decided that they were going to make it interactive, and the audience gets to choose. They get to choose 3 things, and it makes more sense the more you know the musical. But and I don't feel like I'm spoiling it for you because it's the shtick of the show. But
Gotcha.
you choose the murderer. The audience votes based on 6 suspects who the murderer is. They vote for a detective because there's like a mystery detective, and it's one of the other characters in the show who kind of just susses out the situation and is like the spy trying to figure out who killed Edwin Drood, and the lovers at the end, because all of these like I guess British stories needed lovers that they just don't establish till the end of the story. And it's really fun. It's very silly. It was my independent study in college, and it was the first big musical I did by myself and as a stage manager. And it was very beautiful. The set was beautiful. Costumes, everything was great. It was a cast of 30 people and a crew of like 20, and it was just so much fun to do. And after that, the next year I got my script for the show I did. It was Anyone Can Whistle, and I just looked at my friend and I said, "This show has one ending, not over." And I think I calculated it. It was some ridiculous number of different endings it could possibly be. But it was so much fun to do. I highly recommend looking it up because it's just it's a really fun show to do. I didn't feel like there was any rhyme or reason for doing it except just for fun, and it was really interesting to do in college, I think, because some of the stuff that goes on in the show is just, it's so, I don't even know how to explain it. It was just so much fun, and there's one scene in particular that I had a nightmare about. And
God.
It was a scene change, and it just felt like everything was going to go wrong. But it never did, except for one night when one of the practical lights didn't work, and it was, it's a really amazing show. I enjoyed it. It was revived on Broadway recently too, so it should be decently easy to find.
I think it's almost when you're talking about like favorite shows, I think you can obviously explain kind of why it is, but there's almost like a initial moment where you don't know why, you just do, and it's there. Like, if you know what I'm saying, like, it's just, you love it, and then you find out the reasons why when you're going through it and stuff, but there's just so much emotion to it, and it's really cool.
Yeah. So I like theater, because there's that connection, especially with shows and people, and I just love that connection with something. And it's kind of unexplainable sometimes, but it's just like a feeling like, this is great. We're doing something great here. And the more
collaborative you are with it, the more you feel part of it too. I feel because it's one thing where you're just in a show, you're getting the direction, you're going to go do it, and it's going to be fun. But the more involved you are in it, that's why I enjoyed that show so much, because I felt so involved with literally everyone working on the show, from front of house to production to the cast to the artistic. I felt very involved in it, and I felt like everyone had to work together to put it together, and it just felt like an ended effort that really shone through.
Well,
Dustin, did you say your favorite, or was it?
It would have been In the Heights. Okay. It was that had been I luckily had my roommate Christian Munoz was my roommate freshman year of college, and he I mean, when we were getting to know each other, I'd asked him, like, what's your favorite musical? Because he was a musical theater guy, and I wasn't. And he had told me In the Heights. And I was like, oh, I don't know what it is. And then one day, my friend from high school, who was at UNL, goes, hey, I have 2 tickets to see In the Heights at the Lead Center. Do you want to go? And I was like, well, shit, that's Christian's favorite show. I'll get him the ticket, and I'll just go with him, and I'll see it. And so I took him, and we went, and I fell in love with the show. Like, I was just, the rapping in it and the story, it was so powerful to me. And, like, I was like, God, I want to play Usnavi so bad, but I'm not a musical theater guy. I was like, I'm never going to get to do it. But I had memorized that finale rap since I was a freshman. And then when it was my junior year, before my senior year, we do our announcement for this next season. So they announced this show, and I got wind that we were doing In the Heights, and I was like, shit, I got to audition for this musical, which was my first musical audition in college.
Wow.
And then, it was a little controversial, but Joan wanted me to play it, and then it was crazy. It was just this huge, I just have never been so invested, I guess, like, not invested, I've been invested in all the shows that I do, but that just took on a life of its own. So it would have been In the Heights.
Yeah, especially,
Definitely.
I mean, it means something, especially if it's like a role you've always wanted to play.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
when I got to play, I mean, I always wanted to play Javert, and I got to play that part in school. And that was like, no, I think that was another emotional moment for me. It was like, I connected with that part so much that I felt really powerful. And that show itself is very powerful. And I think that was another good experience at Wesleyan. It was really good. But let's move on to our next topic on the plate. This is something Becca brought up to me earlier.
The plate.
Yeah, the plate of this podcast is a plate, and we have
we sit on a plate. Okay.
different rolls.
Right.
We
go with
have
it. It's fine.
maybe like a bread roll as a side. Maybe
Bread.
potatoes. That's
Potatoes. I
Becca's
love
favorite
potatoes.
food.
I have a horrible diet, so potatoes are very high up there, and then ice cream and.
Hey, that's
No,
fine. You just do you.
No, ice cream. I eat like a child. Mac and cheese is like a daily food that I have in my life.
That's okay. I eat pizza. I eat pizza all the time. There's not a week that goes by that I do not eat pizza. So it's okay.
Do you order a whole Domino's by yourself? And then eat it? Okay.
Frequently.
Oh, come on, yeah. I've had that problem. Miles and I would talk about just like, we ate a whole pizza. Like, I'm not going to not eat the whole thing. Like, it's dumb.
Yeah,
I don't want to share it with anybody. It's stupid. I hate that I have to be more cognizant of what I'm eating now. I fucking hate it. I'm like, no, I want to eat the stupid shit. But, hey.
But anyway, apparently the Tonys, the Tony nominations are coming out tomorrow.
The mecca of the theater world, man.
The mecca, the main event of the theater season, I guess mainly in New York. The main event. Yeah, everywhere, but everything that's ever nominated.
Well, because I'm this much of a nerd, I sat down and read the Tony rules, the rules around the Tony Awards, and it's.
What are the rules?
There's a lot, and it's pretty specific about which Broadway houses are eligible for the Tony Awards. I mean, it's all the ones that you think of, but it's also like Lincoln Center, Roundabout. They're all eligible. And it's a really interesting thing to read if you're ever bored and want to look it up. But it's all the rules about who's eligible, what the deadline is for the opening of a show to be eligible for the Tonys, what it means for the committee to come see the show. It's really interesting. Anyway, continue.
Well,
sorry, I'm a huge nerd.
I did this really quickly.
Do you, boo-boo?
I did this really quickly before we started. I looked up some facts about the Tonys. So I'm going to test everyone.
Oh god.
Why? What?
I think
Dude, I
Becca
don't know
has
shit
more
about
of an
Tonys.
advantage than you because I have the answers on my computer here, and it's pretty.
Yeah, that
visible.
would usually give you an advantage.
I'm not gonna
Milo?
look. I'm not gonna cheat.
So they should be. You should get at least one, Dustin. I think you should get.
I-
You'll know at least one.
Unless
of
it's
these.
Hamilton, then probably not.
You'll know at least one of these. So here's the first one. Play productions with the most Tony nominations.
Play productions.
Yeah.
Wait.
Not producers.
It just says play
That's me.
productions. No, not plays, not musicals, just plays. With the most Tony nominations.
A specific play. Or.
No, just a play. Just, I guess any play.
Macbeth. How about that? There's
You
the
say-
answer.
Macbeth?
Did I get the most Tony nominations ever?
Well, I'll give you a hint, Dustin. This is your favorite play.
Fences?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not. Yeah. Okay, that makes
It
sense.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play production.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm. And the second one is The Coast of Utopia by Tom Stoppard.
Oh, okay.
I haven't heard of that one.
I know. I've heard of Tom Stoppard, but not
Yeah.
specifically that show.
Here's the next one. Play production that has won the most Tony Awards.
Curious Incident.
Tom Stoppard's The Coast of Utopia.
Oh, what?
Again.
Boom, you suck, Becca.
I don't know how. I don't know when this was updated.
Yeah. What are? I don't even know what.
I think it was
yeah.
updated last year because one of these answers is.
Miles
Oh.
gets his facts from Wikipedia, so
No, I
maybe
don't.
He's on-
him look
I'm
stuff.
on like the Tony Awards site right now.
He's on
So
TonyAwards.com.
I'm at a.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
he's
right.
He's on the official website for the.
Okay, Dustin, you'll get this one.
Hamilton.
Well, yeah, that's the answer.
Boom, suck it. Suck it all.
Musical productions with the most Tony nominations.
Oh, this might
Yeah,
have
it was
been.
Hamilton.
It must have been from last year's Tonys. This is because Coast
Yeah.
of Utopia, I think, was last year. Was last season.
But Hamilton didn't break the award, the whatever for the most Tonys won.
No, it was close.
That was still, yeah. So how did? Yeah, they were nominated the most, but they
Book
didn't
of
win.
Mormon is I think is the record holder right
Yeah.
now.
I thought it was the producers still.
Yeah, actually,
Oh, maybe
music
that-
production that has won the most Tonys
Is the
the
producers?
producers. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Mormon beat it. Okay.
That's bullshit that Hamilton didn't break that.
And this next one, this show you've been in, Dustin, okay? Musical revival with the most Tony Awards.
South Pacific.
South Pacific.
Yeah.
Did you hear me? Or-
I may call you.
Did you hear me? Because I said it right before it too.
No, what'd you say?
Oh, I said South Pacific right before you did.
Oh yeah, I heard you, Becca. I knew you were gonna get it.
I saw that revival. It was gorgeous.
The guy-
Our friend Greg Roderick was in that revival.
Really?
Yeah.
And he came down and taught
and
us,
directed
directed the show
Oh
that
my God.
music and put me in it. Yeah, he's like my mentor up here. He's a fucking great. He sings like a chimpanzee.
That doesn't
See,
sound
that
like
was really bad.
That
See,
was
I
really
didn't know
bad.
what I was saying until I said it, and then but he's a very good singer. I don't. Next fact to fuck
Okay.
that up.
Well, here's another. The musical revival with the most Tony nominations is Kiss Me, Kate.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We did that show last year. Dustin
I did
wasn't
come. I did come to see you in that one.
there. Let's see.
Your
Let's do
last
another
one.
one. We don't have a whole lot of time left, so I'll just
Yeah.
pick these out. What's the longest running best musical? The longest running show that has won best musical.
Cat?
Lion King.
The Phantom of the Opera.
Oh,
Because that's
yeah, because
yeah.
that's still on Broadway. Yeah.
since 1988.
Oh my God.
It's a long
Why
answer.
don't they just take that thing off Broadway?
Yeah, I don't care about. I can't stand Phantom of the Opera, actually.
I saw it. Have you guys ever heard of Phantom though? Just Phantom. Murray Eston's Phantom.
Mm-mm.
I have not.
It's the same. Okay, do you know the musical Nine?
Yes.
It was a movie recently.
I know 9.
No.
He also wrote Phantom. Nine is a great musical. It's it's very strange, but I really like it. And I was in it quite a while ago. But Phantom, another show I was in, Murray Eston, I love that musical, and I think it's truer to the book than than Phantom of the Opera is. And I like Phantom of the Opera fine. I saw it because a friend of mine, she and I went to the same voice teacher. She was Christine on Broadway for a little while and on the tour. So I got cheap seats and saw it because I wanted to see her. And it was the first and only time I've ever seen Phantom of the Opera. Probably not the last, but...
Yeah, probably not.
Because it'll be around for forever.
Probably.
Do you guys know the performers that have won the most Tony Awards?
No.
I did know this. Someone...
Lin-Manuel Miranda?
No.
No. Not Audra McDonald, right?
Actually, yeah, that's one of them. Audra McDonald is one. And then...
Barbara Streisand.
Nope.
No.
Julie Harris.
Oh.
What the fuck is that? Fuck is Julie Harris?
I don't know. Do you know who Julie Harris is?
I know the name. I just can't. She's one of those names I can't remember what shows she did. And I.
That'll.
Died. I have no clue. No clue.
All I know is I think Dear Evan Hansen is apparently going to sweep the Tonys.
I think it's going.
Yeah. I didn't listen to that till recently. It's a pretty good musical. I think you would like it, Dustin, if you listen to it.
Yeah, I heard a couple songs. They're all right. They're okay. I haven't given it a great listen though.
Yeah, I think it needs more rap.
It needs more rap.
What'd you say?
Musicals now need more. All musicals
on Broadway all need to have rapping sections. That's how I think now. So if you ask me, was it a good musical? It's all right. They didn't have any rapping though, so I'll give them a 5. I think I want to write a musical that raps all the time.
We need to write a musical, Dustin. I was thinking we need to we'd be good at writing a musical. I think we need to be writing partners. Okay. So when I get up there, we're gonna write something.
Sounds good to me, man.
I've always wanted to write a musical about FDR.
Okay, well,
that's gonna be good.
I don't know about that.
He's gonna rap. It's gonna be very good. It's gonna be the best musical you ever seen. It ties in with both A Chorus Line and Annie, so it's gonna be very.
Why a chorus line?
A chorus line because FDR the musical is the musical that they're auditioning for in A Chorus Line.
Oh, wait. Oh.
Not really. I just made that up.
I know,
Not really.
Oh, goodness.
They're auditioning for FDR the musical.
Okay, so...
And in Annie, there's going to be a scene in FDR the musical where Annie comes in.
Oh, okay, so you're doing a weird crossover between the musicals.
Yeah, it's probably going to be the best musical you've ever seen in your life. So
when I see FDR the musical
ready.
on Playbill.com, I'm going to be like, oh, I totally know the guy who wrote this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see it and I'm going to think it's the best thing ever.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
It's gonna no other musical is gonna rival it. It's probably they're gonna say we need to stop writing musicals because this is the best thing we've ever seen.
Miles likes to over exaggerate things a lot, so there's no possible way you can live up to that expectation. There's no way in hell can you live up to that.
Well, I am though.
Okay. I believe you, man. I believe in everything you do.
Well, looks like we're running out of time. This has been That Damn Podcast with Miles Phillips,
Dustin Sutliff,
and our special guest,
Becca Grady.
There you go, Becca. Throw it in there.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for coming. Go see some shows at Florida Studio Theater.
Yeah, I guess.
No,
come see shows at Florida Studio Theater.
Yeah, come see my show on Saturday. It'd be great.
Everyone go see Dustin in Much Ado.
Oh, that's fun.
He's in that. He's going to be in a park.
Yeah,
what you don't know is that Dustin's doing his own production. He's homeless, living on a bench in Brooklyn.
Yeah, pretty great, man.
And he's doing his one-man production of Much Ado.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, peace out, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.
All right.
Hey, that was fun.
That's good.
That was fun.
That's good. That was probably
Becca, nice job. That was a good little dynamic. I like that.